Welcome to Strength-Based Marketing. You business owners, have you ever had that situation where you're really frustrated because you want your people to kind of do it your way? Are you there? I mean, have you had that situation where it's like you come in and they go, well, I want to do it my way. And you're like, but your way is not only illegal, it's immoral, it's unethical, it's not right. It doesn't meet OSHA standards or whatever it is. You've been there? And then now throw in COVID. They're not even there most of the time. It's all virtual. And now trying to get a grip around kind of what happens, who's doing what, where are they? Oh, my guest today, Jerry Kezhaya. Kezhaya. I knew I would see Kezhaya. I got to remember it's like a, how do you say a sneeze, right?
Like an eye.
Kezhaya.
I'm in your eye, brother.
Yeah, I get it this time. I'm sorry, Jerry. But his name is really synonymous with success, especially in the North Dallas area. Top 1% of automotive shops in the country. Multiple $1 million businesses. Takes off 120 days a year just so that he can satisfy a wine hobby of his. So he travels all over, and his clients and his companies stay profitable and productive and efficient and growing. And I thought, wow, that'd be a great show, because, you know, he's also been named Business Person of the Year in the state of Texas. He has been environmentalist. How you say it? Environmentalist of the year and Entrepreneur of the Year. Oh my gosh. Great stuff. Jerry, tell me, what's your story? How'd you create the success that you're having?
Pat, you know, first of all, I must say thank you very much for having me on your show. You and I go back a long time. I don't even want to count how long it's been, but I know it's more than 15 years, and we've kind of watched each other grow up, if you will, certainly in this industry. I came to Dallas in August of 1980, and it was really a crazy story. Best shared over copious amounts of some adult beverage, but nonetheless, so I think I had adult beverages, and that's how I got here, but that's a whole nother conversation. I got here, I had a rusted out old car. I had a toolbox filled with tools, $1,100, and a master certification for an auto technician. I am by trade a master tech, and I can tell you, if you look at my hands, you can see I don't turn wrenches anymore, haven't in decades, don't plan to start anytime soon. Although I will tell you, my wife has me a list of things at the house that she keeps me doing all the time, and thank God I have the capabilities. You know, I got here, like I said, 1980, I had $1,100, and I had a dream of opening my business. And January 1981, I started working on cars in the driveway of my house. I did that for 2 years while I was building up my credit in Texas. And I went to the bank when I got here and I said, I want to open up a business. And the banker literally laughed at me and told me, get the hell out of his office. He goes, get out of here, kid. You don't even know what the hell you're doing. And I didn't. Admittedly, I didn't. But I said, okay, well, what do I need? What do I need? You give me the list of what I need to do, and I'm going to make it happen. And he says, you need 2 years on a job. You need to have a $10,000 CD. You need to have a real business plan. And you got to show me a list of repeat customers. So I worked my tail off literally in the driveway of my house at nights and on the weekends. I built up 150 repeat clients. While I was working at a Chevrolet dealership as a technician, I was working on cars Monday through Friday at the time. And then I'd get home on the weekends and then evenings, and I'd work on cars. By the time I got to the point where I was ready to sign my first lease in 1983, so it was 2 years later, Pat, believe it or not, I had 150 repeat clients, and I had 6 technicians working for me on the weekends out of the driveway of my house. The day I signed my lease for my building, I went to the post office and I picked up a certified letter from the city of Plano telling me I had to cease and desist running a business in a residential neighborhood. It was the craziest thing ever, right? But I got my official start. I rented my building in 1983, and here we are. Today, I own my buildings. We're in 35,000 square feet, zero point 0.8 acres under the roof. We're the largest independent repair shop in Northeast Texas. And January, it'll be 40 years that I started this project, and we're still going strong. You know, you made a comment. I'll tell you that the truth of it is, the average repair shop in the United States does $350,000 a year in total sales. You have the owner and 2 employees. You know, I broke $1 million for the first time in 1984 or 1994, and I haven't looked back since. And we've had as many as 50 employees in our team, and our payroll for all of our companies has been over $1 million every year for the last 6 years. So we're running real businesses here. We're doing everything that we can to keep things blowing and going. My wife and I simultaneously operated and ran 7 different companies in all different areas. My wife is a doctor, so we ran her clinic, multi-million-dollar clinic. We had car washes, we have retail shopping centers, lots of commercial real estate. And of course, I have my wine business. Texas Wine Posse is our travel group that we run all over the globe with, and we take people with us, and we chase grapes everywhere, man. I got so crazy with the wine bug, Patrick, believe it or not, I became a certified level 2 sommelier. So I'm a wine and spirits expert, certified as a matter of fact, and rather proud of that fact. And it's just one of the fun things that we get to do, as well as all of our travel chasing grapes, and like I said earlier. But today I have sold a couple of our companies because I'm 63. I will be 63 in April, and it's just time for me to start to slow down a little bit. And I still have the auto repair business and our coaching and mastermind groups. That's really where my passion is right now, where I get to help young people, certainly younger than me, transfer their energies into doing things successfully to help them get to where at least the level that we have achieved. And the good news is if they know how to do it, we call it a life hack nowadays, right? This is new terminology, life hacks. What does that mean? Well, in our world, I think life hacks is just learn shortcuts, and you learn shortcuts from people that have successfully done it. Tony Robbins says, some people have to learn from their own mistakes. Smarter people learn from the mistakes of others, and the smartest people yet learn from the success of other people that are successful. If you want to be successful, one of the quickest shortcuts you can find is to find someone who's successfully doing exactly what you want to do and copy them completely. So, that's what we're trying to do. We help out a lot of folks. We've been in the coaching world now for almost a decade, and it's just been a great transition process for us, and we just keep moving forward. How's that all on one breath?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's funny because I love what you're doing. I mean, I believe in coaching, do it, and the mastermind concept. I've seen it in running mastermind groups as well. The magic that happens, and I'm curious, what's kind of the neatest thing that you've seen happen in one of your mastermind groups when you're meeting? What's the magic that you've seen? I'd love to say some of mine, but in your situation.
Okay, so for me, the magic is when you see the light bulb go off in someone's eyes. When you're sitting there and you're explaining something, and all of a sudden they go, and it's they get that little about them, and they just kind of puff up a little bit, and you go, yeah, you got it, didn't you? And they go, yeah, that to me is magic. It's absolutely magic when you can change the way someone has been thinking like this, and then you sit back and watch them run with the new information. That, my friend, to me, that is the most exciting part of what it is that my wife and I get to do.
I so agree with you. I mean, I love the fact that when you like put somebody on a hot seat and then you ask the question of, what's the biggest barrier to what you're doing and how can we help you get through it? And then what happens is it doesn't have to be out of my mind their answer. It's I just throw it out there, they talk about it, and then the group goes crazy on it. And then it's like a hive mind where they're exchanging information so fast. And then all of a sudden there's this light bulbs. And what's really cool, I'm sure you see it all the time, Jerry, is one guy goes, aha. And then another one pops as well because he realizes that business isn't that different.
Exactly. And
Even
that's what
though
we remind them every time we get together. It doesn't matter whether it's in person or whether it's on our phone calls. We do weekly phone calls and of course a once a month meeting. But when we're on the calls, when we're in the meetings, I remind them, okay, the challenge for you, that your challenge and you're in this meeting right now is not to sit there and go, hey, you know what? I don't really care about automotive repair. Has nothing to do with my business. The challenge is how do you apply this to your business, right? Everybody says, oh, but you don't understand. My business is different. You know what? I own 7 companies. Really, I do multi-million dollars a year in business. And what I've learned in the 7 different businesses is the fundamentals of business are exactly the same. I don't care if you're washing cars, if you're repairing cars, if you're taking care of broken people, if you're in the wine. So I own a liquor store. I own a high-end wine store, and until it went to liquor, once it went to alcohol and spirits, I had to back out of it because it didn't hold true with my moral compass. That doesn't say that I don't enjoy spirits, because I do. But I'll tell you from a retailer standpoint, I would see, okay, here's an example. If you'll let me, I have a tangent here for a minute, Pat. I promise I won't take us too far deep.
we're good. We're good. I want to follow your lead. And then what I really want to do is get into how so many of the clients and people that we're working with are having challenges really with the employees and what that frustration means and what they can begin to do. But take your tangent and
Okay,
see if you can, eclipse it into employees.
I got it. Okay, so when you're in the wine world, right, and you have a bottle of wine, wine is for celebrations, wine is for special dinners, wine is for sharing with friends, right? This is historically what we see all over the world. When you have people buying spirits and they come in every day and they buy the same $2 bottle of vodka, or they buy the same $3 bottle of gin, or they buy this every single day, and they come in, I would see them come in their pajamas. I would see them come in with their hair still in rollers. I would see, I mean, men, women, it didn't matter, right? This is not, oh, guys do that. No, man, I'm telling you, everybody. I've seen grandmothers steal bottles of Jack Daniels, put it in their shopping bag, and try and walk out the door. Right? I mean, it's not big money, but good God, the things that we see in the spirits world, people were not celebrating life. They were not sharing life. What I saw them doing was they were hiding from life. And at that point, I said, I don't care how good the money is. It's not enough, right? It doesn't feed my soul. If anything, it's eating at me. So I literally sold my interest in that business within 30 days.
I
So
believe it. But because what you want is to see people growing, their mind popping, everything changing. And I feel like, especially with where we are now, we're kind of almost, maybe we're mid COVID. I don't know.
depends
But
who you listen
know
to.
that the challenge that we started the show off with is that so many people are dealing with is getting their people to really know how to do it kind of their way. And now with COVID, it's remote, and so there's all kinds of things. What are you dealing with your teams, with the employee, finding the right people, managing, training, developing those people that really helps a business grow?
So that's a really great question. And as we started down this path in February, right? COVID hit the United States at some point in February, became official, right? The beginning of March, that's when the world shut down. The one thing we did is we started having daily meetings in our company. We were having weekly meetings prior, and we just cranked it up. We provided a meal at every meeting, and it's gotten to the point where my wife and I, so I'm a classically trained chef. When I was a young kid, I learned how to cook in a five-star restaurant, and so every day we've created a kitchen here at the office, and we literally whip up food for the entire team every single day that we're in town, every single day. And while we're having our meals, we literally have conversations. And the things that we made sure that we talked about was, listen, in the beginning, right? In the beginning of COVID, we would tell them, listen, who's scared? Is anybody in this room scared of COVID? And a couple of people would raise their hand, and I said, okay, I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, for me personally, we've been deemed as an essential business. We are not shutting down. We're going to continue operations forever until I can't do it anymore. And we're going to make sure. I told everyone in the company, if you want to take time off, you are able to take time off. I will continue to pay you as though you are here. And not one person wanted to leave. I shared with them, I will be here. I'm in the office every single day. If you have an issue, come talk to me. I promise you, no one is going to have their lights turned off. No one is ever going to go hungry. You will keep your rent paid as long as you pay it. You will have the money. This will never be an issue. And I had a guy come into my office. One of my techs came into my office. And he said, that's really generous of you, but how long can you really make this happen? And I sat down with my wife, who's, she's a brilliant woman. And we looked at our numbers, and we looked at him, and he said, here's some facts. We can run the company, continue paying everyone for 30 years with no income. 30 years. I said, so I hope that releases you of some of your stress. He went, are you messing me? I said, no, here's numbers, right? And he went, okay, I'm going to be here, right? So what we did is we continued to help them through their fear, because people are scared, right? Nobody wants to die. I don't want to go into anything thinking, oh my God, I let that person come to work. They should have stayed home. They're dead now. I mean, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. And at the same time, we've created protocols that we implement here in the company. We have complete touch-free service. You can drop your vehicle off after hours. You can pick it up after hours. We have, and again, this is the auto repair business that that I'm discussing. We have on our website, you have a link to a secured payment, so you can punch in your credit card number, and you can pay your bill all online. Everything is online. We send you digital vehicle inspection reports. So if I look at your car and we find something wrong with it, you can sit here on your cell phone and pull up the pictures that we send you and tell you what's wrong and why it's wrong, so you can actually see what it is we're seeing. Pat, we created such there's chemicals that we wipe down the keys with, we wipe down the cards with, the credit cards, we wipe down the inside of the car, the outside of the car. There is no way anything can live in this environment. We've got a guy who just wipes down our building all day long. We hired them. That's what they do. It's really been, to me, the best thing that I could figure out to do for my team is to help them get over their fear and to understand that, what, we're doing everything we can. And that's one of the reasons that's really one of the reasons we started cooking for them. It wasn't so much that, I want to show off my culinary techniques or anything. It was, when you're here from 7 in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock, whatever time your shift starts until 5 o'clock at the end of the day, you're mine. You're mine. You're my responsibility. We're taking care of you to the best of our ability. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is be here. And if you decide to go out to a fast food place for lunch or to someplace else, you take that responsibility on. It's now out of my control, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that this environment is as safe as we know how to make it. And that's what we've
So,
done for the entire time.
so what I'm hearing though is that it's not necessarily about hiring just right. It's about being the right kind of leader that steps in and says, look, people are people, and a lot of people are afraid, and all the media sells is fear. So here's what we're going to do. And you stepped in as a good leader would and said, I'm going to solve these issues. And you began to solve just tack them off, every one of the fears that most people would do, because there are a lot of people in the country that, in fact, a lot of people did, as you know too, that when they had the option of $4 grand a month, sit on your butt, or whatever you were making working, well, they were making more doing nothing
Right.
at home than but your people said, no, I'm in. You cared for me, and they reciprocated. You created that reciprocity with your people. Is that correct?
Pat, absolutely. I will tell you, you said something earlier about stepping up and being a good leader. The truth of it is if you have crappy employees, it's because you're a crappy employer. If you have crappy friends, it's because you are a crappy friend. If you have a crappy spouse, if you have a crappy marriage, you know what? You're the one that's the crappy spouse. I say the buck stops here with me, right? If I want better employees, I have to be a better employer. I have to take better care of my people than they can get anywhere else. And I will tell you, uh, my so in the auto world, technicians leave, they change jobs an average of every 18 months. That's a year and a half. I've got one technician who's been with me for 26 years. I got another tech who's been with me for 18 years. I have another tech who's been, I mean, I have all my people are all long. My driver has been with me for 16 years. My janitor has been with me for 15 years. My bookkeeper, you know, why is that, right? It's got to be because we care about them. They know we care about them. It's, one of my guys, he had his birthday last week. It was Wednesday, and my wife and I were both freaking out because Wednesday is our mastermind meeting, and we were like, Tim, I don't know what to do, man. I can't have your cake for you and have your special deal and all till Thursday because your birthday is Wednesday, and I'm in the mat. He goes, it's okay. It's good. I'll wait Thursday. It's okay.
Of course. Yeah. So I do have a question for you though. There's a lot of people that listen to this and they're like, that's great for you, Jerry. Obviously, you're a demigod and really have a clue on how to lead. But what about me? What about they're sitting there? What about me? I have challenged people. I mean, I have challenging employees. I have employees that take off. What can I do to alleviate that stress?
I'm going to tell you that not that very long ago, about 10 years ago, I hated walking into my building. I hated it. The team that was here, they had morale issues. It was not good. Um, man, I cannot stress to you enough. I hated being in the building, and that's one of the reasons why I had so many businesses. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go build something else and I'm going to go make another something and I'll run a couple $1 million a year over there and I won't have to worry about it. I'll have a good manager. He'll run the store and I'll let them deal with it. And, the truth of it is that doesn't last long. For whatever reason, it doesn't last long. and I had to get over myself. I found that the one that created the angst about me coming into the building was my stinking thinking. It began and ended right here. Now, the term you use, demigod, I'm going to tell you, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what a demi-glaze is, but I'm going to, damn sure don't know what a demigod is, especially when it comes to business, Pat. I love you, but you have to fill me in on that.
I'm just being showing up my inner nerd, man. It's Thor, it's Princess Diana. They were kind of never mind. It was a compliment. Just go, thanks for the compliment.
Oh, okay. It was a compliment. All right, thank you. I'll run with it.
Move on.
So, but at the end of the day, I had to fix me. And once I started getting a handle on me, get my ego out of the way, get my stuff out of the way, once that happens, then you sit back and go, okay, what do I need to learn? Right? So my wife and I, we are big journalers. I don't know if that's really a word,
Journalers?
but we journal every day, right? And one of the things I write literally every day, I am so thankful for my amazing life, right? Who do I have to become in order for my life to become even better? Because for my life to be better, I have to change. I have to improve. Jim Rohn said that 50 years ago, right? If you don't try to become a millionaire just to become a millionaire, but you try to become a millionaire for the person that you have to be in order to become the millionaire, right? That was Jim Rohn's quote. It's like, wow, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, there's a reason that 98% of the people that win the lottery go bankrupt within 5 years. There's a reason that most professional ball players go bankrupt within 2 years of their contracts being ended. We just saw it on TV. Mark Cuban went down to downtown Dallas, and he rescued an ex-ball player of his and put him up in a hotel. I don't know what that's going to happen long term, but the truth of it is, this guy was making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and now he's homeless with no place to live. Well, you know what? He clearly did not become the right person to figure out how to do something positive with those millions and millions of dollars. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's one of the things I've been blessed with is my family says I still have the first nickel I ever made. And I don't know that that's a bad thing, okay? But I guarantee you, we're good.
Yeah, it's good. So who are you trying to really serve now? Who's your ideal client?
So my forte is service businesses because that's obviously what I do. It's what I know. I know it really, really well. Chuck in a truck, the man in the van, right? AC guy is really good with AC, but doesn't know anything about business. He's working his butt off, working 70, 80, 90 hours a week. And at the end of the year, he's got nothing to show for it. I want to take those people and show them how to make money. One of my guys, his name is Alex, and Alex is in the pest control business. And he started off when he joined us 4 years ago. He was doing right at $500,000 a year in sales, and he said, I really want to grow my business, but man, I don't have any energy. I can't be the guy in the trench. I just can't. I'm working 70, 80, 90 hours a week as it is right now. And, I really want to have a kid. I want to spend some time with my wife. And there's just, how do I grow the business? I don't know how. And I said, give me 1 year. Give me 1 year. Do what I tell you to do. And I promise you, your life will change forever. And I'm going to tell you right now, he has 3-day weekends every week. He no longer works Fridays. He no longer works Saturdays. He no longer works Sundays. This year, when he started with me, there were 5 people. There were 2 admins, 2 techs, and him. And now he has 30 employees. He's knocking it out of the park. He'll end this year at $3.5 million. Um, he was a guy that, so we're in our meeting and I see him on his cell phone and he's sending text messages. I go, what the hell are you doing? Man, you know, there's no text messaging. There's no, put your phone down. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, put your phone down. He goes, you just told me to have my bookkeeper make these changes on my P&L. I'm sending her a message right now to change it. This guy is the Uber implementer. And this is why you have the results, right? He's one of several, one of many, right? We've got lots of folks that continue to have amazing results, but you've got to be able to implement. And you know, there's one of my meetings we're talking about, you know, watching the light come on. One of my guys was arguing. He goes, well, you know, if I hire another employee, it could break the company. And, you know, because he's living in scarcity, right? Absolute scarcity. And I said, so what are you paying? What are you going to pay a new employee if you hire them? He said, well, it's $15 an hour. Okay, $15 an hour. That's to start. Okay, I got it. Just to ask you a crazy question, how many weeks would it take for you to know whether or not the new employee is going to stick? He says, a week. A week. Okay. And you don't want to gamble? Why? He goes, well, you know, you're talking, it's going to be $30,000 for me to hire the guy. I go, well, no. Let's do real numbers, right? You're talking $15 an hour, and you'll know in a week that's $600. You're freaking out. You need me to loan you $600, right? And I started peeling off $100 bills, and he looked at me like first of all, was I dumb? And then you could see him adding it up in his head. He went, I get it. That's really dumb, isn't it? I said, well, yeah, you're holding back your company. What can a new employee bring you? He says, 150,000 a year. I said, so you're throwing away $1.50 to save 600. You need me to loan here. Let me pull that out again. Yeah, can I loan you the money now? I mean,
Like that's a pretty good trade-off. So how do people get a hold of you, Jerry?
well, they can obviously call us at our number 972-578-1700. That's always a good number. Just leave a message. Or you can go to bbmmusa.com, which is Business Builder, Mentor, and Mastermind USA.com, bbmmusa.com.
Which
That's
is on
probably,
the screen in front of you folks, just next to his name.
oh, it's somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. You're magic. This guy's
Hey,
awesome.
the power. I have the power. So now, folks, Jerry has been a delightful show, and folks, I encourage you, check out the bbmmusa.com and learn how to say his name right, Jerry Kezhaya. And the thing is that Jerry and I have known each other for a long time. We do a lot of the same stuff, and I'm honored to sit there and say he's one of the good guys. There's only a few of us left, but you know what? The one thing that he said today that is something I try to close the show with is he's been giving you examples and information. Information is not power. It's the implementation that creates the transformation. And folks, I know if you begin to get ideas from this and you implement on them, you're going to see business transformation. And it's amazing how much of it is what goes on between your ears. And with all of this stuff, you have to rinse and repeat. One of my mentors used to say, if you want to change what you are and where you are, you have to change what goes into your mind from this point. Those that take action get results. Strength-based marketing is all about giving you great information, and if you like it, hey, share it. If you the information will be down below to get a hold of Jerry. Great guy. And folks, it's the time where we need to implement new strategies. We need to pivot. All of us do. There's a big change out there. There's a lot of companies that are watching this going, yeah, but mine wasn't designated as required. Well, okay, things are changing. And as they do, this is the new normal for a lot of conversations. What are you doing to grow your business, grow your impact, grow your influence? There are things I can do, there are things that Jerry can do. I love the fact that I get to meet and know and have known really great people for a long time. Folks, keep up with us. We'll see you next time. See you then. Thanks again. Thanks,
Thanks,
Jerry.
Pat. See ya.